US FDA issues 8 observations for Cipla's Pithampur unit. The stock corrects over 5% even as the street watches out for the information on the nature of these observations.
In a sizable acquisition, Samvardhana Motherson buys cockpit module assembly provider SAS Auto System Technique. The management says the acquisition will improve the blended margins, while the share of electric vehicles will increase to around 8 to around 9% in comparison to 5% now. The stock is up 2.5%.
KC International bags new orders to the tune of almost 3,000 odd crore rupees. The stock on the back of that rallies 4%.
Minda Corp picks up 15.5% stake in rival Precall via a block deal. Sellers include RDOS India Fund, Minerva Emerging Fund and Stream Value Fund. The company will also hold a conference call with investors later today.
NMDC Steel lists after being spun off from the parent company NMDC in October. The stock has made its debut at around 31.75 rupees per share.
Hello and welcome to Chartbusters. I'm Nigel D'Souza and joining me as always is Mangalam Malu. Hey Mangalam, Monday morning, weekend was too short, but you're a lucky guy. You got a glimpse of the test match.
I did get a glimpse of a test match. I can call myself lucky, but I can also call myself unlucky because the minute I went, all the Indian wickets started to fall. The minute I left, Akshar Patel started to go ahead and hit. So maybe I was the unlucky factor. But I'm happy that my exit made Akshar Patel play well and we went ahead and won the game. For the markets though, we're sitting at around that 18,960 mark, mildly in the green, but the dip has been bought. So where do the technicals stand at? We have Shivangi Sarda with us for a quick technical check. Hi, Shivangi.
Hi Shivangi, good morning.
Hi Mangalam, hi Nigel, thank you for having me on the show. So we've seen that Nifty is taking support near 17,777 quite crucially, and any declines are being bought into. Now looking at the overall data structure, things are looking quite positive. The put call ratio has also cooled off from overheated zones. The FII's long short ratio is back to 25%. And looking at the entire derivatives data, the Nifty structure looks quite positive, but there is one cue that the upside is kind of capped because of the follow-up buying which is missing. So overall stance is quite positive, buy on decline to continue for Nifty, but again we need to look for booking profits quickly as upside is capped. So looking for 18,181 zones in Nifty and then 18,250, and support will be near 17,777. Now looking at Bank Nifty, we've seen that this index has been underperforming the broader market from the last 8 to 9 sessions, and we are seeing continued nervousness over here as well because of some heavyweights which are not holding. So Bank Nifty continues to remain flat, and we've seen that quite a range bound movement. It is trading in the previous day's range itself, and we are looking for an upside towards 41,750 with a support near 40,750 levels.
All right, and Shivangi, what about stocks? What do you have for us today?
So for stock specific, my first pick would be L&T. We've seen that this stock has been forming higher lows continuously from the last 8 months, which indicates that any declines are being utilized as buying opportunity. Now, the stock has been continuously making higher lows from the last 3 weeks, and technically follow-up buying can be seen after the bullish engulfing candle formation last week. So overall setup is quite positive. On the derivative sides, we are seeing call writers are unwinding their position, which makes an potential upside for this stock. So recommending a buy here with a target near 2335 levels and a stop near 2200 levels. My second pick would be Tech Mahindra. We've seen that the stock has made a huge candle on the weekly frame last week, and follow-up buying can be seen. It surpassed its previous hurdles of 1120 zones and holding well above the same. In this series so far, we've seen 27% open interest addition, and the rollovers are increasing from the last 4 sessions, which indicates that people are carrying their longs for the next series. So this indicates an overall upside potential for the stock, and recommending a buy here with a target near 1200 and a stop loss near 1130 levels.
All right, Shivangi, thanks a lot for joining in and giving us those details. Meanwhile, just keep an eye out on a couple of stocks which are doing extremely well. Nykaa is up 6% today, so starting the week on a high note. In fact, all of last week it was under a wee bit of pressure post its numbers. We're seeing some traction come by on all cargo logistics as well. The stock has recovered from lows hit after the numbers, primarily as the company has spoken about the adjustment itself. And GNFC, that's the stock that we're looking at. Remember, a couple of days ago, we did have the management of Sheela Foams join us and tell that TDI prices have increased. So GNFC, as a result of which, has moved to the high point of trade as well, up around 3.5%. From lows, it has seen a bit of a rally as well. But let's shift focus to our special segment where we get you a few ideas for profit coming in from our colleagues at Money Control Pro. Nitin Agarwal joins in.
The company that I have chosen today is Bharat Forge. Let me first touch upon its Q3 number. The company reported a strong year-on-year growth of 17.6% in its volume, driven by the demand coming in from OEMs, post-waning impact of semiconductor chip shortage. Higher rich productions helped the company to register a 3.6% growth in its realization. It is important to highlight that despite the macroeconomic challenges in international markets, the company registered the highest ever export revenue. Higher raw material prices, however, it impacted its EBITDA margin, which remained flat on a YY basis. However, it grew by 106 basis points on a Q&Q basis. Now talking about the outlook, its domestic business outlook continues to be very positive, primarily on the back of the demand coming in for passenger vehicle and commercial vehicle segment. Passenger vehicle segment continues to outperform primarily on the back of preference for personal mobility and waning impact of semiconductor chip shortage. CV sector is expected to do well primarily on the back of government focus toward infrastructure, mining and construction activity. Now moving on to the international market outlook, the management has guided that North America Class 8 truck sales is expected to outperform in this calendar year 2023, and it would be better than calendar year 2022. However, the demand for the passenger vehicle segment in Europe is continued to be lackluster, and the management has indicated that this may put some pressure on the company's financial performance. Lastly, the company currently trades at around 25.4 times FY24 projected earnings, which we believe is very reasonable given the company's strong outlook, growth opportunities going forward.
Thanks a lot for that, Nitin. For the time being, though, we'll slip into a short break. Up next, we'll be joined by Shikhar Agarwal, who is the Joint Managing Director of BLS International. We'll get a sense in terms of how business is shaping up. You stay with us.
चीज़ डोसा, मसाला डोसा, पेपर सादा डोसा, रोटी, बटर नान, कुलचा, वेज वेज कढ़ाई, वेज कोला, स्टीम राइस, जीरा राइस, फ्राइड राइस।
भैया और कोई ऑप्शन?
अन्ना
लाइफ में और कहीं ऑप्शंस मिले ना मिले, मोतीलाल ओसवाल आपको देता है ऑप्शंस ट्रेडिंग में ऑप्शंस। इंट्रोड्यूसिंग मोतीलाल ओसवाल ऑप्शन स्टोर विद अ वाइड रेंज ऑफ ऑप्शंस इन ऑप्शंस ट्रेडिंग। एक्सप्लोर करो ऑप्शन स्टोर। Investment in securities market is subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
Play it your way. Play it your way, your way.
Sarah, this is your space.
Play it your way.
With the versatile range of sanitary ware, faucets and tiles by Sarah.
When our big boss was MD, he used to take care of us.
And our Prince Sahab is busy ensuring his family. Oh, big boss, you?
He's busy obtaining term insurance for his family. After all, office is also our family. Am I right?
Let's close the deal.
Thank you. Verma ji, will you have tea with this prince?
LIC's Group Term Assurance Plan takes care of your office family.
बात सिर्फ मेरी नहीं, देश की थी। माइनस डिग्री में भी कॉन्फिडेंस प्लस में रहता था। वो जज्बा आज भी बरकरार है, सही मूव लेने के लिए, क्योंकि अब बात सिर्फ मेरी है।
सिग्नेचर ग्लोबल आपके इसी अंदाज को सल्यूट करता है। इंडिपेंडेंट फ्लोज फॉर द इंडिपेंडेंट यू।
लोन। अरे जिसको देखो दे रहे हैं लोन, और इसको
इसको उसको सबको चाहिए लोन लोन लोन।
जो घर लेना हो ले ले लोन ले ले लोन। गोल्ड लोन लेना हो ले ले लोन ले ले लोन। बिजनेस बढ़ाना हो ले ले लोन ले ले लोन। अरे लोन पर लोन ये कौन सा है लोन?
कभी सही इंटरेस्ट तो बोल,
कई छुपी शर्तों का झोल।
अरे स्टॉप, अब गोल गोल को छोड़, सुन सीधी बात के बोल। अब हर सपना होगा पूरा जो तेरा है अधूरा, और IIFL फाइनेंस पे है मेरा भरोसा पूरा। गोल्ड से लेकर बिजनेस, पर्सनल से लेकर होम, हर जरूरत को मिलेगा लोन। तो हुआ ना यही सही लोन। IIFL फाइनेंस करता है सीधी बात।
Welcome back. Holding up for the market. So let's get chatting with our first corporate guest on the show. BLS International Services reported a strong set in the third quarter. The revenues were almost doubled. In fact, 93% growth out there. Shikhar Agarwal, who's a joint managing director, joins in to detail this performance and, more importantly, whether this is sustainable or not. Shikhar, thank you for joining in. Q3 usually seasonally extremely strong for travel and business processors like you. Just wanted to know whether this is sustainable or not. In the fourth quarter, if I just look at this Q3 run rate, you are likely to end this year by 1,500 crores in terms of a top line. Is that a possibility? And your thoughts on the next year?
Definitely, Mangalam, as you know, this year we've done a revenue of 437 crores, which is upwards of 92% compared to the similar quarter last year. In fact, the EBITDA is also 66 crores, which is also more than 90% compared to similar quarter last year. So definitely Q3 in terms of travel is quite good in terms of global travel. Q4 is sometimes little flat in terms of travel because it's little cold in the European markets. But definitely, we expect a strong closure this year. And next year also, we expect to maintain these numbers. Not only maintain, we expect to, grow these numbers. Having said that, as you know, still, we are operating not fully in 2019 levels. Some countries like China and Russia are still semi-closed. So as soon as they open up, we will see a further increase in revenue from the existing contracts. The new contracts that we have deployed, like the German contract in US, Mexico, the Portuguese, the Philippines, all these contracts also will start showing up revenue for us.
Okay, all right. Hi, Shikhar. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining in. So this year you ended around 1,500 crores. There are a couple of geographies that will open up, as you mentioned, China as well as Russia in the next year. So for next year, what kind of a revenue number are you looking at?
See, definitely whatever numbers that we have achieved this year will be the base this year. We are doing only 70% to 75% of our application count pre-COVID. So all these applications, as and when they get added, whichever months they get added, we will definitely see an uptick in revenue for those months. On top of that, our contracts that we have been bidding, as I've said before, for $1.5 to $2 billion worth of contracts, the results are expected within next financial year. And if deployment also starts happening within next financial, we will see a good increase in revenue.
But Shikhar, what kind of a growth? I mean, when you look at a 20% growth on this base, a 25%, a 50% growth on a base of around 1,500 crores, just trying to get a rough range in terms of your growth that you're targeting for the next year.
See, last year, same quarter, we have already done a 90% growth, in revenue. So exact numbers, I don't know, but definitely, if the numbers from Russia and China come up, we'll definitely see 15 to 20% growth at a base minimum level.
All right, minimum 15 to 20% provided Russia and China come to the fore. What are the typical volumes related to Russia and China? I mean, the first 10 months, I presume you would have processed around 10 million applications. You targeted 15 million applications for this year, which is similar to the pre-COVID levels. How many applications come from Russia and China typically?
So around 30 to 35% of the entire kitty comes from Russia and China.
Okay.
Those are the major travel markets. So definitely, as soon as they open up fully, we will definitely, as any other visa outsourcing provider in the world, we'll also get a good traction, from those geographies. Okay. Also, as you know, recently we acquired a company, Zero Mass Limited. In this quarter, there's a revenue of 42 crores also from that segment and a profit of around 10 crores from that segment.
Okay, and on the visa applications itself, how many have you done in the first 9 months? What's your target for this year?
So exact numbers right now I need to check, but I think total volume we have already done 7 to 8 million.
7 to 8 million, and you'll end the year around?
This quarter, I think probably more than 10 million.
So for the year, you'll do 10 million.
Correct.
So we are going around 2 to 3 million is what you're expecting in quarter 4.
Correct.
What about the rough margin number? You know, in the previous quarter, you did closer around 16%. This quarter, it was closer around 15%. The rough band we should be looking at?
It should be similar. The band, as you know, the margins have improved from pre-COVID level because of increase in per application revenue and our decrease in cost, that we have sustained from COVID levels. We have not increased our cost, in a big way. We have learned new way of doing business. That is the reason our margins have grown, and we expect the margins to sustain.
Right. Just wanted to understand your revenue a little further. You have told us that 80-85% of your revenue is coming from Visa and passports, around 15% coming in from banking and correspondence, etc. Can you break it up further for us? I mean, Visa processing accounts for how much, value-added services, which is like courier, premium lounge, etc., accounts for how much, passport renewal services, etc., account for how much, and what are their margin, contributions to you?
Correct. So see, revenue in terms, when I've said 85%, that includes the revenue from Visa, Consular, Passport, value-added services. We do not break down that revenue because revenue is generated on a country basis. So definitely margins from all the services are typically the same, more than 15% EBITDA margins, what we are doing on a consolidated level within the company. In terms of the digital service business, 15% revenue is now we have, branded it as the digital service business, which includes the e-governance, the banking correspondent, the zero mass, company that acquired. As I've told you, out of that 15%, 42 crore comes from zero mass, that the entity that we acquired.
Okay. All right, Shikhar, final question then. You continue to look at inorganic growth, and you've mentioned that in the past as well, provided it meets the IRR, threshold. What is that threshold?
See, threshold is that we want to recover our investment within a matter of 4 to 5 years.
Okay.
We are looking at EBITDA positive companies that can add profitability and top line to the company, and also, help us grow. So we can actually, gain advantage of economies of scale, combine our offices, so profitability actually increases. So as you'll see that last year, we already acquired a sizable company of 150 crores. This year and within next year, we are looking at some opportunities. Definitely, we want to acquire companies to grow.
All right, take that point, Shikhar. Thank you for joining in, looking at companies which allow you a payback period of 4 to 5 odd years on your initial investment, and thereafter they allow you to grow as well. Target 10 million applications this year, at least 15 to 20% growth next year, provided Russia and China bring out their volumes. With that, we step into a short break, come back on the other side, we get you more on the markets and individual stocks.
जब आप आगे चलते हैं तो बहुत कुछ पीछे छूट जाता है। किसी की लाइफ से स्ट्रेस मीलों पीछे छूट जाता है। यही नहीं, रोज 10,000 स्टेप्स चलने से आपको मिलेगा अप टू 100% प्रीमियम वापस एज हेल्थ रिटर्न्स और सीमलेस हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन बेनिफिट्स भी। सही सेहत की शुरुआत अभी करो।
Let's you and me step out and see how blue the sky, how tall the trees.
Skoda Kushaq is India's safest family car. Protect what matters. Skoda.
हमें ये एहसास है कि कुछ लोग हमें क्या समझते हैं। इस कॉलेज का सबसे अहम अंग्रेजी शब्द टॉपर किसके पास? एक बात याद रखना, तुम्हारी पहचान सिर्फ तुम लिख सकते हो। बाकी सबके लिए तो पापा ने प्लान कर ही लिया।
नए सवेरे नए हैं उजाले।
अपनों को इंश्योर करने के साथ उन्हें अपनी पहचान की ताकत का एहसास दिलाएं। HDFC लाइफ, सर उठा के जियो।
नमस्कार जी, मैं भगवंत मान। 16 मार्च 2022 को शहीद आजम भगत सिंह के पैतृक गांव खटकड़ कला में हमने पंजाब को रंगला पंजाब बनाने की कसम खाई थी। उसके तहत हम दिन रात काम कर रहे हैं। मुझे बताते हुए बड़ी खुशी हो रही है कि हमारे यत्नों सदका अभी तक 10 महीने में लगभग 40,000 करोड़ का निवेश हो चुका है, जिसके तहत लगभग 2.5 लाख नौजवान बेटे बेटियां पंजाब के उनको रोजगार प्राप्त होगा। हमारा 23-24 फरवरी को मोहाली में इन्वेस्टमेंट समिट हो रहा है, जिसमें जितना निवेश हो चुका है उससे कई गुना और निवेश आने की उम्मीद है। आइए आप भी इस समिट का हिस्सा बनिए और पंजाब को दोबारा रंगला पंजाब बनाने में हमारा सहयोग करें। नमस्कार।
चाहे खरीदना हो अपना घर या हो रिटायरमेंट के लिए फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग, मुझे फ्यूचर की कोई चिंता नहीं, क्योंकि मेरे पीछे SMC है।
SMC, money wise, be wise.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
Indo Wind Energy Limited. Rights issue open. Closes on 24th February 2023.
Suresh.
Yes, brother.
Please take care of it, huh?
Sure, I'll do it.
Really? You're concerned for it even if you're going to the village for just 2 days. Would you never think about us this way?
Everything will be fine. My rickshaw union group has taken LIC's group micro-term assurance plan. Papa! Wow! Now no matter what, my family will keep moving forward.
Get LIC's Group Micro-Term Assurance Plan. Keep your family secure.
Well, it appears it's a quiet-looking screen. If you look at the Nifty, it's up only around 8 to around 10 points odd, but plenty of action actually from the broader markets. Equitas, SFB, just take a look at that stock. It's up close to around 6%. Big up move is what we've seen, particularly in the last 10 to around 15 minutes. So volumes picking up out there. Indus Stars on the flip side, it's had a good bounce from the lows. The crucial part is that, Vodafone surviving and we're having, more than 2 players out there. So that one, though, has come to some profit taking. Though from the recent lows, it's seen a good rally of close to around 20%. The other couple of names that are doing well is Nalco. Some of those stocks that are listed in China, the aluminum-related stocks, they're doing pretty well. And Nalco as well has moved to the high point of the day. And new age stocks from the word go itself. Nykaa was doing pretty well. Zomato as well has picked up in trade. And both those two in the last 30 minutes, they're moving higher with solid gains.
Absolutely, Nigel. Looking at the way Nykaa and Zomato moving, all the new age companies actually, just as we speak, we're seeing some a spurt in that, and that's primarily on account of the fact that, a lot of the street believes that maybe now they're valued correctly, and the fact that companies are looking at operational performance going forward. So let's see how this pans out. For now, there is a big move on these names. With that, we wrap up on this edition of Chartbusters. You stay tuned. Trading Hour comes up next.